Hi.
Hello, and welcome to episode 200 and something of Music Firsthand Comedians Interviewing Musicians. Notice how I didn't know the name of the. Okay, it just happens every
213.
213. That's exciting.
213.
Shit. Honestly, that's whoa. Sorry, just give my brain a little second to count to 213. Thanks again so much for everyone tuning in today, and thanks to our patrons and sponsors. Of course, without which we literally could not do this show, and I could not pay my electricity bills. So thank you. Legit appreciate you. Yes, you have no idea. My name is Becky Joe. This is my beautiful and talented co-host Kim Stacy.
Hi, I'm in someone else's house, but they knew they knew I was coming. So
yeah, please do not call the police. Kim is not live. That's whoa.
They knew.
Yeah, and it was staged by someone who works at Spirit of Halloween. She's already got the boo banister up.
Yeah, and it's just a bunch of hocus pocus wine glass.
So Chris is on the God mic, and I just heard him. Honestly, they do the whole. That's like no, sorry. it's his embarrassing. It looks like a TJ Maxx blew the fuck up. Chris is on the God mic, and I just heard him.
Earrings. It's real.
It is September 13th. I had to look at my watch and click two buttons.
Started.
But we are miraculously and thankfully joined by the incredibly talented and lovely Wright. Ladies and gentlemen, girls, gays, and nays, round of applause.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me. Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us where you're streaming from at the moment. You have a lovely little plant behind you and these like nice little like where are you at? I don't know. Maybe if you're in like the witness protection program, don't, but like explain to us where you're streaming from.
Well, I'm streaming from my house, so that's if you want the long and short of it. Yeah, no, I'm streaming from home. I just tried to kind of throw something together that looks a little. I was kind of talking to my parents about this. I was like, I might have the most boring background that I've seen because I've seen a couple of videos and you'll see posters in the background like some of these people have, or the place has got like just a bunch of music gear and whatnot. And I'm over here like, I'm gonna set up in the kitchen against a very plain background with white, shutters, like just except with the exception of this plant, just boring. But otherwise, yeah, no, I'm at home.
It's good because then no one can figure it out and actually find your location.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Every other guest that's been on our show, robbed. You wouldn't believe it.
I was going to say robbed immediately.
Robbed. Although I've looked like I've been in the witness protection program for the better part of like 3 weeks on the show because I'm moving, but I'm also a very slow, lazy mover. And I don't hang anything up for months. So we're in my new podcast studio, but it looks like I'm potentially being like filmed some sort of,
Yeah.
I have socks. Sorry. For the people who are listening to this, Kim's the cat that is
the cat that I'm cohabitating with for the week has just got up on my lap. Her name is Socks. She always has a poop butt. I don't know if we're going to see a little poop butt, but she constantly has one, and it's pretty hilarious.
We have to censor that, but also we're just not going to skip over the fact that Kim's saying the cat I'm cohabitating with. Kim is actively squatting in a TJ Maxx. Go to the visual right now. She is in front of
love Ray Dunn. She's got it going.
She's got it going on. Wait, so okay. Wright, Anthony, we're friends now. Y'all missed that during the pre-meeting. Don't worry, we'll post a clip or later. But Anthony, I would like to know. I know this is not your first podcast. Feel free to lie. Is it the most excited you've been for a podcast?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, I was looking forward to it. The thing is it's. I mean, yeah, I would say so. Well, I mean,
was looking forward to it. Well,
no. I mean, I was looking forward to it for sure. I mean, I still am happy to be here for sure. I just, I don't know. I don't know why. I guess my brain's not working right now. But anyway, yeah, no, I
Oh.
am excited to be here.
No, hell no. Kim and I are actually called brain killers. Someone has wrote that down in a Yelp review about that. We are no, we're bad at it. We are the
I know who to point at. I know exactly who to point at for that then for that response.
Yes, it's us.
Nah, but no, I'm glad to be here for sure. I know this is the first podcast. I guess that's what tripped me up. This is the first podcast with you guys for sure. That I've been on.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's not my first podcast.
No, honestly, okay. If you had like before we go to your first song, like if you had advice because of like your experience on other podcasts, like what would you tell an artist that was about to do a podcast that was specifically meant to like be about their, like they're not appearing on a podcast about robots or whatever the fuck, that's something that's not related to them. Like if you were appearing on a podcast, like what would you tell another artist before they did that?
Yeah.
You're talking if it was somebody's first or
yeah,
okay. Well, actually basically I would say what Chris sent me, which was, be yourself, just relax, don't try to do anything kind of spontaneous or try to pull any rabbits at it. Like go into it doing stuff that like be yourself, but do stuff that or whatnot. And I say that because I'm gonna play some stuff later on, and I have lyrics off to my left. But know what you're doing. Yeah, just know what you're doing. Whether it's perfectly organized or not.
Knowing what you're doing. If you know you 100%. Might have problems memorizing, you put your lyrics up. If you didn't know what you were doing and you went in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or just make it look like you know what you're doing, even though you don't. I mean, there's always that too.
Yeah, that's the secret. None of us know what we're doing, but we're pretending like we do.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, that's life, so beautiful. You never know where you're going until you have no idea where you're going. And then you make the good choices. That being said, we are 100% going into the first song of this. If you can see at the bottom of your screen, there is a rolling little ticker. It is a great opportunity for you to send some donations and appreciation towards A Wright's Way, if you would like to. And what did you decide that your favorite emoji is? So we always do the music firsthand fist bump, but then what is your emoji contribution?
So my emoji contribution is just the thumbs up emoji, because that's just whenever I got somebody who says something to me, if I get a text early in the morning and somebody's like, hey, I got this and this and that, blah, blah, blah. If I'm tired and I don't feel like responding, instead of like, okay, great, just thumbs up emoji, go back to bed,
It's the perfect emoji.
Yeah, it's straightforward to the point. Yeah.
It's also it's got like a bunch of versatility because it can be passive aggressive, but you're like, oh.
Well, I think actually the only problem is I think you may have to be careful. I don't know which cultures it is, but I think in some cultures a thumbs up is like a middle finger. So you do got to be a little careful, I think.
What a wonderful thing for me to look up when we listen to our first song.
I think, yeah, we could do that definitely after the first.
Because now I need to, because I feel like I've heard that before, and I'm like, I really need to study that before I go to. I guess I'm leaving the country before I go to another country. Because if I do
not do that at Disneyland, isn't that the thing? You can't.
It's the pointing.
Oh, it's pointing.
You're not
Never mind.
To point with one finger. You have to point with two.
We're going down a gesticulation, insinuation tirade. But if you're having a good time, please see the Cash Apps at the bottom of the screen here and show your appreciation for A Wright, and use the music firsthand fist bump and the thumbs up. Blur me in whatever country that's inappropriate, and I'm very, 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 very sorry, and I'm very serious. Please don't let me offend you. I love you. And here is the first song from A Wright. Enjoy.
This is one of my newer ones called Daphne Blue. She got a big old body, nice big frame, couple 100 horses to a name, runs every time, tried and true. My old Daphne Blue. steady rider, highway machine. Even though she ain't great on gasoline, nothing else like her, at least that's new. My old Daphne Blue. Yeah, she's packing some heat underneath the hood. Burns up the asphalt like a fire burning wood. Turn the key and put the pedal to the floor. Watch it go, watch it soar. Yeah, when God calls my name, says it's time to go, they gotta put me under, down below. I got a metal coffin that will do. My old Daphne Blue. Yeah, she's packing some heat underneath the hood. Burns up the asphalt like a fire burning wood. She's gotten me in trouble, yes, a couple of times, but she's best when she flies. Yeah, when God calls my name, says it's time to go, and they gotta put me under, down below. Savior rocking mahogany. I'll take my Daphne Blue with me. Oh, I'll take my Daphne Blue with me. Daphne Blue with me.
Oh, hell yeah.
My gosh.
Like,
Thank you.
Oh,
like
so
I know
good.
it's about a car,
Yeah.
but I
But
want
somehow
so
I think it's
badly-
about me.
No. I want so badly for it to be about like no, that's my bed, or like something that just makes no. I just really love that set of
My
Clippers.
tub.
Yeah, my tub. Like it's so badly to be okay. If it weren't your car, what else would it be though?
I don't know. I mean, it could
Kim
be something
Stacy.
else. It could be something else that's the color Daphne Blue, just not a car. Well, but that wouldn't work in the context of the song though, because it's
Are
very
these
much about
Daphne
a car.
Blue?
Nah.
Could be about my shorts.
I don't know.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
shorts. All right, Kimberly.
And when I mean shorts, I mean my ass.
Yes, all that ass. Kimberly, it is time for your segment, so take it away, my sweet princess.
Let me just drink out of my seasonal wine, which is, it's just a bunch of hocus pocus, and yeah, whole thing in the mix. Here you go.
This is the segment
It's
where Kim
organic.
gets stoned and asks questions that she has vehemently searched, like the Nancy Drew that she is, on the interwebs.
Yeah, I like go down a rabbit hole of your life, and then I think, what is a question no one in their right mind would ask somebody? And that's me. So you just recently went to New York to play like I think a festival, like outdoor camping thing, like what was it?
It was no, it was a songwriters camp. It was just so it
That's
was like a songwriters
amazing.
camp. But yeah, I did get a chance to go to New York for like 4 days. Well, I flew in last Monday, so I was in New York for about 5 days.
Amazing. Yeah. And it was your
Yeah,
first time in New York, right?
yeah, never been a city or upstate. So yeah, that's
Yes.
first time. Yeah.
I wanted to know, because like first times and things, where is some places like, or that you would love to play at slash see? Like that would be like on your bucket list.
To play at, well, I mean, I think just getting around in general and being able to kind of tour around. I'd love to be able to do that. I mean, really anywhere, because I haven't. I still would love to gig somewhere like some good spots in Houston or Dallas or whatnot. Because I've been to Austin, I've done San Antonio, I've done all that. But Houston, Dallas, maybe even do some stuff in the Southeast. Really all around, for sure. But I know in the near future, probably maybe Houston and Dallas. I wouldn't even mind
Cool.
doing something up in Colorado either, because I know they do that Steamboat Festival out there every year.
Oh
Oh yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that would be cool to do.
Hell yes. Steamboat Festival. That would be amazing.
Yep.
That would be so much fun. Uh, I feel like because I just watched part of Death on the Nile, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
and they were on a steamboat. The possibilities of things to happen on a steamboat, I have like not even thought of, which is
What are you
incredible.
talking about? I have no
Like
reference to what you're talking about. What do you mean?
a
What do you mean the
murder?
possibilities are endless on a steamboat? Like what? Kim?
It's bigger than I thought it would be. So they're like, you could murder somebody and people will be like, who did it? Or you could, shack up with somebody's husband or wife or whatever, and maybe people would never know. Steamboats are bigger than I thought they were.
I feel like you
That's
could
all I'm
probably
saying.
do a similar thing on a plane or a bus as well. I mean, other modes of large transportation. A cruise ship is another one. You could definitely
Yeah.
do that on a cruise ship. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's
you can
essentially
definitely
what
bring someone on a cruise ship.
that's essentially what that steamboat thing really is. It was like an old-fashioned cruise ship before cruise ships, basically.
Yeah.
It was a
Sorry,
cruise ship for
socks
people
keeps
who
smoking.
talk like this. That was it. That was just it.
It
But
really
they were,
was.
but they were
Yeah.
actually from Missouri. They were just lying.
Yeah.
All of them lie. They really do. Okay. Someone gave you an unexpected tip of a cupcake one time. Also like cigarettes before.
Yeah.
Have you ever received a tip or advice about music or just life in general that has kind of like helped you grow as a person or a musician?
I probably have. It's just I've had so much that's happened. It's kind of hard to pinpoint one thing. I mean,
Same.
the big one is just, just keep going. Basically, keep writing and keep going, keep doing, keep being you, keep doing you. Do what you got to do and whatnot. But just keep going.
Yeah,
That's really the big one.
it really is because that's also the same when it comes to comedy and stuff because you just so many times you feel that why am I doing this? There's so many others out there, but it's really important and your voice is really important. So like the keep going and not being defeated by basically life and what it hands to you is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like just don't worry about this. It's gonna always change or
Yeah.
grow. Yeah.
Well, the
No.
hardest part's definitely in the beginning, especially like dealing with disappointment and rejection and all that. Because but the thing is,
Yes.
but once you get to a point, like you just get to a point where you've kind of seen it, and it's like, oh, this is what it was. Oh, fuck it, whatever, But like you
Yeah.
get to a point where uh, I guess your skin becomes a bit harder, but it's like you've seen this before. It's like, all right, it's just
Yes.
this stuff again. Like whatever, okay.
Yeah. It's the repetition of it. And it's like going, it's like so many like auditions and things like that. It's just you keep going. I had a teacher, mentor, director who once was like, I was going to New York and doing all of these auditions and kept going. And then one day, like one audition, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to do something different. So he literally went into the room, didn't do the audition sites, and walked in as the AC repairman. And when looked at their AC unit, had no recollection of, he's like, I have no knowledge of how to do
Oh
AC
boy.
work. So I was just bullshitting and talking about things and doing it. And so he was shooting the shit with them and they were like, oh yeah, it's been a long day. And they're like, oh yeah, it's in auditions. And he was making them laugh, all of that. So he left and was like, okay, I think I got you. He's good. And he walks out, comes back in. He's like, hi, my name is Sean Walker, and that's my audition. Thank you so much. And then left and then got the job. And it's like, yeah, you know what? After a time and time again, you're like, then I'm going to switch it up because you get so comfortable in it that you can make the adjustments and make things different. So it's like the keep going and keep trucking on. don't give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And impersonate handyman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just know that you can bullshit your way out of anything.
Fake it till you learn how to replace a valve of some sort.
Yeah. We were also saying before we started was, sometimes you feel like you don't know what you're doing, but you just got to fake it. It's like we all don't know what we're doing, and we're pretending like we do until we convince ourselves that we know what we're doing.
Well, it was actually, I kind of came up with some sort of an analogy for life where life is literally like a game that everybody plays, except you're thrust into it with no rules, like nothing whatsoever. And you gotta figure out how to play the game with no
Yes.
knowledge of how to do it or what to do, or yeah. And that's
Yeah, and that's life. But then there's also that game of being an artist that's thrown in there of like,
yeah.
that's another one, because you have to learn how that works, how to get the gigs, how to do all of that, how to do the turnaround, and keep trucking on.
Yeah. And again, like it's still tricky because again, sometimes people will give you a piece of advice and you follow it and it helps you out, and then some people won't tell you anything, and you'll be doing something that that you don't know is frowned upon until like way later, and it's like, okay, well, nobody told me that, this or that, which again, that also goes back to that thing about the thicker skin. It's like when you find out sometimes what these things are that people are frowning upon, it's like, oh, really? Oh, well, whatever. Like sometimes you got to, sometimes it's like that. Like sometimes it's real petty, but
you got to weed through it and find what actually is real advice and what is just bullshit.
Yeah. And then, like I said, sometimes you got to figure things out on your own without even anybody telling you anything. Like, there's something wrong about it. You just don't know what it is. And then you figure it out. And then again, you figure out what to do with it. Like, whether to adhere to it or not.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So my last question is, before we get to Choose More Songs by Wright, you have insane skills on not only the guitar, but the harmonica. That's you playing on those tracks, right? On your albums, you playing the harmonica. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Crazy good. Like crazy good.
Thank you.
I wanted to know if there's anything or any instrument that you've maybe tried and you were like, this is not for me.
Yes, but well, I'll say this. I remember I used to play trombone in 5th grade, and I know I was okay at it, but I probably would have been okay. I probably would have been good at it had I kept up with it. The only reason I had to get rid of it is I transferred schools and they didn't have a band department, so we had to give back the trombone. But the one instrument that I told myself this isn't for me, because there's two parts to this. Was the mandolin. For whatever reason, like I don't have huge fingers, but I could not get around the mandolin because it feels weird. Everything's spaced together. And I was like, yeah, this isn't my thing. But there's a company that makes, an instrument that sounds like a mandolin, but it's got, instead of the 8 strings that are tuned, together, it's got 6 strings and it's strung like a guitar. And it's like, okay, so basically I get mandolin sounds without, the having to relearn and rethink. So it's
yes.
And actually there's a crazier story behind that. So there's a shop in San Antonio that sells a lot of stuff, and this is because I got my second one. The first one I got was an all electric one, and what it was is I would go into this store and they'd have this little guitar hanging on the wall, and they called it an octave guitar. And I walked in and I looked at it, and I remember, I walked in the first time I saw it, and I'm like, this thing is fucking stupid. And I walked away, didn't do anything. Came back later on. I came back later on, I think maybe a week or 2 later, saw it. And I was like, let me humor myself. Picked it up off the wall, saw exactly what it was, where it just was a higher pitched guitar. And I'm playing it. I'm like, this thing is fucking stupid and useless. There's no point. And I put it back. I think I snapped a string on it and then put it back. And then, and then the third time I came back in the store, I looked at it and I'm like, this thing is fucking stupid. Wait a minute. And all of a sudden the gears started turning and I'm like, this thing kind of hits the mandolin range. I suck at playing mandolin.
Yeah.
I can fake this. So, and then long story short, it's sitting under the bed in my room. But yeah, so I got it eventually. But yeah, it was one of those things where, like I said, mandolin, it's weird. I couldn't get the, I couldn't play it properly and get and play it cleanly. But then I figured out there's, other instruments that simulate it, but it's tuned like an instrument I'm used to. So it's like, okay, so I can basically fake it really well. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish they had something like that for flute, because I started to play the flute in grade school, and I am no Lizzo, not at all, not for a second.
You're like a little Lizzo.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could go to like a piccolo, but
a piccolo.
Lizzo. I love that. Yeah, that's really good. There's like a medium place where you say, hey, look at this. Yeah. They should do that for the trombone too, because then you can.
Well, I think the thing is with stringed instruments, it's easier to be able to do that. Whereas like anything that deals with woodwinds or wind, where it deals with breath, it's kind of like, you got to kind of know what you're doing on that. I mean,
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the only reason I went trombone when I played it was, so I wanted to do French horn because I think French horn sounds gorgeous, but I saw the size of so for all these brass instruments, they show you the size of the mouthpiece, and like trumpet and French horn are tiny. And so I sat there, I'm like, well, I guess I got fatter lips than I thought I did. So what else do we have to offer? So I saw the trombone thing, and I kind of got to thinking, I'm like, well, it'll be comfortable enough on the lips. Plus, on top of it, I won't have to. I think the reason I went trombone was it worked, but also it was light enough to carry around. Because once you got to like tuba, it's like, dude, you're on your own. Like,
yes,
yeah. I was like, I didn't want to have to bother with tuba.
That's why I didn't trombone, because I was like, a flute can fit in my backpack. I was like, that's a little case. I was like, that's perfect.
There's a little bit of a ripoff because there's a little bit of a ripoff though, because we didn't really do much of the trombone slide thing at all. So I was like, oh, that's kind of lame, but whatever. I mean, it did it at home, but there was nothing in the music. I mean, it's fifth grade band. I mean,
it's fifth
if you can't trombone slide in fifth grade band, where the fuck can you?
Exactly. Where
I use a slide whistle at work all the time to punctuate my jokes that I make backstage. I will be like, and what?
And what? Slide whistle. I'd like the that one. That's the one I use a lot.
Natural noise. Also, I'm like sorry for anybody who's watching this and realizing my eyes are like welling up. I don't know what I'm allergic to in this room right now, but I think it might have been whatever the fuck pest control came in here for. Like over here trying not to cry.
Emotional. It's okay.
It's bad.
It's okay to be emotional.
Is there a way to look into like the previous tenant's history? Like, I don't know.
I know, right? I mean, I knew her. She was nice, but she did have a toddler. So there could be God knows what in this room.
Oh, well, I mean, you got toddlers. I mean, if they're outside rolling around in the dirt and, picking things up and whatnot, you never know.
It's probably just like kid stank. I'm just allergic to children. Sorry.
Same.
Nah.
So I didn't want you to think I was like over here crying or like bored. My eyes are like swelling shut. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I think that's a good time for Becky Jo to go put some moist towel.
I'm gonna need some
eyes or some cold spoons. And we'll listen to 2 more songs by Wright. So enjoy, and also take this time to go give a little love to Wright with the fist bump and thumbs up emoji, which I did. The thumbs up is bad in Italy, Greece, Iraq, and Iran.
Yeah, that sounds.
That's what I learned.
It changed my summer plans.
So don't do that. Thumbs up now, though.
So I've been doing some different songwriting type of things. I've been kind of doing some stuff in a lot of kind of country rock and southern rock kind of veins, but I also did this. This is kind of a bluegrassy thing because I actually really do like bluegrass quite a bit. This is a song I wrote. Initially, it was about Texas, but I figured anywhere could be hot, but I know Texas is especially hot. So I wrote this one about the summer we had. This one's called Another Day in Hell. summer heat coming across the land. Another kiss of death by means of the devil's hand. The grass once green, now an amber brown. No sign anytime soon of the rain coming down. Whether people got it made in the shade. More waves of heat coming our way, I'm afraid. I wish you all good luck, I wish you well. It's another day in misery, another day in hell. June comes around with a ferocity and rage, with nowhere to go, like an animal in a cage. July turns things from bad to worse. Oh, it's just a symptom of the devil's curse. In August we've arrived at the peak. Lowered rivers and dried up creeks. And in the factory smoking junkyard smell. Feel the blood boil in your arteries, another day in hell. People cry in perfect harmony. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. Breathe this curse and cure our pain. Please provide us with the gift of a bountiful rain. Then one day in the midst of September, a miracle happened, please remember. At the chime of the 12 o'clock bell, the heavens opened and the rains fell. For at least another year, gone and expelled. There'd be no more days in misery, no more days in hell. The breaking of the curse, the wretched devil's spell. There'd be no more days in misery, no more days in hell. Thank you. Oh, I guess I'm going right into another one. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the page. Like I said, I got some words that are up. So just give me a second. Okay. This song here is another new one that I wrote. Basically, all the ones I've been writing are newer ones of mine. I have a guitar here at the house. It's an old guitar that basically It was owned by my great grandfather. I don't really have anything except for this guitar to kind of remind me of him. But this guitar is cool as well because my great grandfather and my grandfather, whom both of which I never personally knew, my dad and then myself, we've all played upon this guitar, and so I always wanted to do a love letter to this guitar. So this song is called Pancho's Guitar. Let me see if I can remember how to do the harmonica part to this. Pancho bought a guitar at Charles and Mary's music store. Got himself a Martin, made in 1974. Hung up on the wall for about 3 years. But that guitar made music like no other to his ears. He'd take it out, strum himself some tunes. A grin across his face could light up the room. Played it up until the day that he passed away, and the music fell to silence. For a while it would stay. I still remember the day, I must have been about 3. I found my father in my room and it puzzled me. From underneath my bed he pulled an old blue case. With the first few notes he strummed, you should have seen the look upon my face. I began taking lessons at the age of 5. By 16 I knew what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I've played everywhere, near and far, owing all to that guitar. I'm a grown man, making music for a living. The gift that brings me joy, the gift that keeps on giving. Every time I gotta cut some songs at the studio, I got old reliable to get me where I need to go. Though I never knew Pancho, I know he's nearby. When I get to picking and letting the notes fly, in terms of his memory, his guitar is all I've got. You see, Pancho's my great-grandfather, and to have that old 6-string is an honor. It means a lot.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much to Anthony or Wright. Thank you so much again for being a part of our show. I'm hoping that all of our listeners are taking the suggestion of the running ticker at the bottom of the page and using the music firsthand fist bump and the thumbs up emoji and showing appreciation to A Wright. It is now Clack's notebook, that time of the day where we play a little game. I decided, Kim brought it up earlier, because Kim and I can never go into a show without accidentally crossing paths somewhere. We don't prepare together. We prepare separately, but we almost every week either match or have the exact same question. My game this week is this a good or a bad tip?
Ooh, nice.
Based on your throwback pick of the cigarette tip and the cupcake tip. I mean, okay, we'll start off very simple. Is money a good tip?
Yes.
Seems like an obvious one, but people don't seem to understand that it's also kind of necessary.
Yeah. So, I mean, so wait, you're asking me this and you're wanting my response, right? I'm just
please justify why someone should pay you for your craft, even though you shouldn't have to. Just give your little, your your elevator pitch to why someone should pay for music.
Well, I mean, it's a craft. Well, I mean, like for example, if you got somebody who goes and does, I don't know, repair work on, let's say repair work on cars. I mean, that's that dude's craft, and he's doing a service, so that, well, in this case, he's doing a service out of necessity because you need a vehicle, but he's doing a service to get you back up and running. And the thing is that if you're putting in the work and the effort, I mean, you deserve to get paid for that. Now, when it comes to tips, I mean, the thing is yeah, everybody's free to do what do what they like. I mean, if you have, some spare, some stuff lying around that you'd like to throw in, or at least, or nowadays, if you'd like to scan in and send virtually and all that, if you have stuff lying around and you feel like you'd like to donate towards that, I mean, I appreciate it, and we all do. I mean, the thing is, we all got to pay rent. We all got to pay bills. We all got to do, we have stuff we need to buy. I mean, in the case of musicians, a lot of this stuff goes towards equipment or whatnot. Or
gas getting from gig to gig.
Yeah. Or scraping enough money together to make a sketchy Craigslist deal so that you can get that guitar you wanted for a cheaper price, but on the wrong side of town,
or like studio time so that people can listen to your content all the time, like that.
Yeah.
That shit costs money, people.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's the thing, it all costs money. I mean, it's not cheap. I mean, the musician life is not a cheap life. And so the thing is, and again, those who tip, awesome. Those who don't, I mean, it's not a big deal. Again, it's a choice thing, but those who do, it is very much appreciated, because like I said, it is a hard living. I mean, we all got, bills to pay, and like I said, but it's very much appreciated. It's very much appreciated because it's a little bit extra that we can get, because I mean, there are sometimes where there are certain venues that don't, they don't pay. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I mean, they just don't.
That's something that people don't know and don't think about.
And I'm going to make this statement right here, and I know this is something that I know you'll relate to, meaning you two, and then, well, three, myself, and then a couple of, and then the audience as well, which is, you can't pay for anything with exposure. I want to put that out there. I mean, and it's like, I understand. I mean, sometimes when you're starting out, you gotta, when you're starting out, okay, but you got to get to a point, but when you got to get to a point where it's like, again, like I said, you can't pay the bills with exposure. It just, you gotta, it's not a hobby. It's a living. It's a living. It's not a hobby.
I would argue that going and seeing music, and especially in the live music capital of America, that if you go to a restaurant and if you only have enough money to order what you want on the menu, you shouldn't go to the restaurant because you can't tip, because tipping is a part of the restaurant experience. I wish that more people thought of music that way. I wish more people would know, like, hey, I'm going to Sagebrush tonight to see someone. I better have money for drinks and for the band. I wish people thought about that in the same way they treat service industry, because at the end of the day, it is technically a service.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like you produce product. If you were a chef, someone would tip you. If
Yeah.
you were a street vendor who's making, like there would be a tip jar present. It's like you don't go out to dinner if you can't afford to tip. Buy the album online or do what you need to, but like don't
Right.
go see local music if you if you really can't. Please still go see music, but like I wish people treated it like that. I wish people thought of it in that way, because you deserve it. It is like a service.
Think of every performance, $5 at least. There you go.
Yeah, just take that. Like, I don't go see drag shows without dollars. Like, why would I go to a drag show without dollars? That's disrespectful. That being said, have you ever been tipped one of those Jesus dollars?
Maybe. I may have been tipped a Jesus dollar at one point.
Kim, you know what I'm talking about?
I have. When I was working at Pizza Hut, I was pissed. I got tipped a Jesus dollar. And I'm so mad. This is one, that was the only thing I left. Two, it's a Jesus dollar.
No. Fuck the Jesus dollar, people. I respect your right to believing whatever you want, but I swear to God, the second you start putting
Jesus
it on,
doesn't pay for my bills.
Yeah. And also, like, I can't give this to anyone else without feeling like an absolute schmuck.
Yeah. I will actually throw this in. I do have one other tipping story that hasn't been put up on Instagram. So one of my very first gigs I played. So this is probably like within the first 10, maybe even 5. But I remember it was towards the end of a night. And I think I don't remember what the reason was. It may have been because it was right around Mardi Gras. But this one guy, and he was, the one thing about gigging early, because I started gigging at about 16, going on 17. So I wasn't even 18 yet when I started seriously gigging. And I was in bars, and that was where I've learned to get very comfortable around drunk people. I'll put it that way. When you get exposed, So this guy was a special case, because he comes up and he's drinking this thing, and he's doing this weird little dance, and all of a sudden he pulls out these beads from his pocket, and he's going around and he's teasing, dropping the beads in the bucket, and pulls it out, teasing it again. And I'm sitting there the whole time, like, and even at 16, 17, I'm like, dude, these are worthless. I don't even know why you're like it was almost, yeah. And eventually he dropped the beads in the bucket. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, what am I gonna do with these? I'm like, these are like, I don't know, Party City paid like half a cent for these. Like, what am I gonna do with this?
Oh God,
so good. I love the teasing.
The way the way it happened was hilarious. It is kind of a little creepy thinking about it in retrospect, but it was hilarious when it happened. It still is a little funny, but and it's mainly funny because it's like, dude, really? I mean, you're gonna pay me something that's basically worthless? I mean,
I love that.
Yeah. He gave you trash.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was trash, but I mean, it's
how long
useless.
Did you hold on to those beads, Anthony? How long did you hold on to them? If you held on to them for longer than a week, yeah. So he gave you garbage.
Yeah.
He was like,
child costume jewelry. I can't tell you how many children come to the theater with Mardi Gras beads, and they're like, "Look at my necklace." And I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah. Who gave you that? And where do I call DCFS?
Yeah.
Okay, here's a fun one. Have you ever been tipped a live animal, and would you accept a live animal as a tip?
No,
because you can pick whatever live animal you want.
Have I been tipped a live animal? No. Would I want to be tipped a live animal? No, because I have just enough fun trying to take care of myself. I won't. Because I do have pets I take care of, but I mean, yeah, and that's already fun enough. So
I guess one time Kim and I were hosting a show at Austin Eastsiders, and this woman, I had never met her before in my life, never seen her before ever. We had no context, but earlier in that show, we had showcased an adoptable dog that was up for rescue from, I believe it was Austin Pets.LIVE. I'm probably going to be wrong. I think it was APA. I think it was. Okay. Her name was Pozole, and she was perfect. But this woman just came up to me without saying anything, and she held a puppy in my face and goes, "Here." And I was like, is this for me? She was like, no, I just saw you like that. No. And she like immediately just, she was like, this bitch is gonna take my dog. No, she gave me no context, but she just thought because she saw me crying over a dog earlier that I would want to pet her puppy. And I absolutely did want to pet her puppy. I wanted to cuddle her puppy. Yeah. But she just goes, here. And I was like, is this for me? She immediately, no.
Yeah.
Hey, lady, if you're out there, I still love you, and I'm sorry.
Yeah. I would like a possum as a tip because I really love possums. So if anyone wants to give me their backyard possum.
I'll tell you what, if you want, come down to what you call it? When I play in San Antonio, I do some gigs at the Crockett Hotel. Come down there because there's stray cats and possums that walk around out there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Let's go. Going now.
Let's go.
Well, I'm not playing there tonight, but I mean, you can come if you want.
We'll wait. Here's my last one because it is almost 8 o'clock. Here, I'll do one more. Okay. A severed body part. You get to pick which body part.
Oh boy. Oh, free. Hold on, wait.
You just like look in your tip jar and there's like a thumb, and you're like, what the?
Probably
could be cool. I don't know.
Maybe probably like a finger or a toe or something. I mean, something smaller. I mean, I was gonna be really careful with saying small. It's like, wait, that could be anything, and that could be anything if it's something small. Yeah, probably a finger or toe or something. I mean, at least with the toe, you have like the rabbit's foot. I got a human's toe. What of it, you know?
Yeah. Also, I feel like the bones would be so tiny. Yeah. You just like some like human teeth in a jar. You're like, damn, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're not yours or anyone you're related to.
Yeah. It's just, it just has teeth. Yeah.
Yeah. What if you were gifted the missing link to like a really terrible crime?
I can't tell you how much that is a fantasy of mine.
Yeah. Kim would say that's the perfect tip.
I want a true crime case to fall into my lap and for me to be a part of it. For me to be interviewed on 60 Minutes, I want it. Dreaming big here. As long as I'm not on To Catch a Predator, we're good.
Oh, God. Well, unless she is just taking Chris Hansen's job.
Oh, yeah. Unless I am a decoy, I don't want to be on
it. No, that's fair. All right. I'm doing my laundry. Kim just comes around a corner. Can I have a pizza roll? No.
What's the Zima and condoms for if I'm only 16?
Everyone knows I'm more of a black cherry white claw girl. What the fuck is that? No, could have been bad. Yeah. Honestly, though, someone needs to put Kim Stacy on To Catch a Predator. We'll tag Chris Hansen to see if that works.
We're making a musical. Let's do it.
We've been talking about it for years. It's got to happen. And Anthony, if you think we're kidding about that, we're not. We've been talking about Kim. We got to make To Catch a Predator the musical.
A Predator the musical. It's on the works. God. I'm trying to get the guys from South Park and Book of Mormon to write on it with me. But it's a good $1 million idea.
Yeah, well, but if you're available.
Oh boy. Well, I wish you luck with the because I'll say this. What's it called? Trey Parker and Matt Stone, meaning the South Park people or Catch a Mormon people, they're probably like the only people that would definitely give it some thought for sure. Like they could do something. I'm just saying like that. You gotta be a little careful with that subject matter.
That is the nicest way of saying that Kim and I have the stupidest idea that not even the South Park guys would take that on.
No. I said
they would.
No. I said they would be probably one of the few people that would definitely consider it. No. I'm saying no. I didn't say not even. I said they would. They would at least get because they could. Well, because I'm thinking to myself, they're probably the only ones who could probably spin it into something hilarious and pull it off.
Oh,
because they're great at that. Because I mean,
because they've touched
on some issues that are kind of risque, kind of hot button and pulled it off. So what I'm saying is they would be the ones to do it.
That's why we start with a little child, and then she's like singing it like, "Hi, my name is Cindy. I like chicken nuggets."
And then
it pans to the guy on the computer who says, "I also do cheerleading after school," and like adds that to it. So you just kind of see the real life.
Can't do it. But the best part, it's all played by one person, and it's Kim in multiple wigs.
There you go.
It's how it works. It's like one big quick changing show. All right, we're gonna hear the last song from Wright. But if y'all don't go to our Patreon and subscribe at CIMP.LIVE, I will cry. No, but if you please would suggest to go to the below aforementioned cash apps that are in the running ticker below the screen and use the music or stand fist bump and the thumbs up emoji so that Wright knows that you listen to the show and you support them. So please go do that. And yeah, tell your friends. It's almost the holidays. Buy your friend a Patreon subscription to Comedians Interviewing Musicians. We have hundreds of hours of content. I know y'all are sitting in your house. Just go. It's a good time. Because after this song, we are going to go and record 2 more questions and 1 more song that is only going to be available on CIMP.LIVE. So if you want to see that and you had a good time tonight, please, please, please consider donating as little as $1 a month to see this private show. It's like the cheapest OnlyFans you can get, and I swear we're funnier. So
less than a coffee.
It's less than a coffee. We're gonna go to the last song from Wright. Please enjoy. We'll be back to say goodbye in a hot second, but enjoy.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this one because I believe my if my parents are tuning in on this, hi mom and dad. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one because I figure if my mom's listening, she'll definitely enjoy this. This is a song off my first album. This one here is called Under the Table. It's a true story based on fictional circumstances, which means this song's a load of shit, but the story's pretty good. So I don't know, you might enjoy it. So here we go, Under the Table. Under the table against the wall, passed out in a bathroom stall, on the floor reduced to a crow. That's where me and my friends are. We took to drinking at the bar at roughly 11. At some point I thought I died and gone to heaven. Last night felt like a haze. Navigating this place feels like a maze. I bet we'll be hurting for days. Under the table against the wall, passed out in a bathroom stall, on the floor reduced to a crow. That's where me and my friends are. Good Lord. When I awoke, I hit my head on hickory. How the jukebox got outside is a mystery. Shattered glass everywhere, and I can't help but sit and stare. We were the only ones at the bar. Under the table against the wall, passed out in a bathroom stall, on the floor just to a crow. That's when me and my friends are. Under the me and my friends are.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Well, hell yeah. Thanks again so much to A Wright for being a part of our show today. I hope we get to see you very again soon. I'm back on the show and back when we're back to doing live gigs. And whenever you're back into Austin, we'd love to have you.
For sure, yeah. I'd definitely like to take part sometime in the future. In terms of shows, I know not this Thursday, but the following, so the 22nd, I'm going to be at Celis Brewing up at the Domain.
Oh, hell
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be at Celis Brewing doing a solo show. I think it's 7 to 10 or 8 to 11. It's one of those two. It's on my website, which is awrightmusic.com, by the way.
And that's a good place for us to go to like check your shows. I know on your Instagram you do like really good weekly wrap ups of where you're going to be at. Is that what's your Instagram handle so people can follow you?
Well, I'll go ahead and lay everything out. So for Facebook, I'm on Facebook at A Wright, which is my band profile or music profile there. Instagram is A Wright Music, and then I have a YouTube channel as well at A Wright, but it's still kind of a little buried. So if you guys type in like Anthony Wright Band, you guys can find some videos and whatnot. A little more traffic to get a little more notoriety with that channel would be awesome. So if you could do that.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So everyone, please go on and see anywhere you can see A Wright's stuff. Please go to all the socials. Please be sure to venture down to the Cash Apps below, aforementioned, please, and make sure that you use the Music for Stan fist bump and the thumbs up emoji so that you know that you can. So Anthony knows that you supported them during the show. We are going to take a cut here and then do a couple more questions and one more song for the Patreon exclusive. But we'd like to thank everyone who tuned in today. And thank you so much for being a part of our show again, Anthony. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me. It's been a blast.
Well, hell yeah. We're going to wave goodbye like we're actually leaving each other, but we're going to just wait for Chris to tell us that he's kept the Facebook feed.